Good evening and welcome back to my channel. We are here with Fazer once again for part 5, and you're very welcome back to the shed. Not very much to report again, I'm afraid. It's one of those stages of the project where there's a lot of fiddling and background research and lots of kind of odds and ends and little bits and pieces are getting done. What I have managed to achieve is I managed to get her back down onto her 2 wheels and her centre stand, so no more hanging from the rafters, quite literally. So she's side stand and centre stand on. I managed to change the barrel over from the it's actually the top yoke from the donor bike, which is still waiting to be cleaned up, but it's on there, and the barrel from the original bike. Now it's a bit of a faff to get those bolts off. They're a security bolt, so there's it's a bit involved to get them off, but it's fine. Valve clearances, went through and checked all the valve clearances. They were all in spec. I was delighted. Again, more proof that it's an original mileage bike. It's still before its interval. I think I can't remember the interval, but it's only got 18,000 miles in it, which it just keeps appearing to be proven to be correct. So all the valve clearances in spec, which is great. Aside from that, valve swap, there have been a bit of kind of logistical issues going on in the background, given that we are still under coronavirus lockdown, and so there is a little bit of a slowdown there as well in that regard. I have queued some people up to take parts for blasting, which is fantastic. That will help us really kind of get it forward another step. And an awful lot of time has gone in for me this week in terms of getting the ready for painting, the painting process and so on. Really the most of the work in that regard has gone off camera. You can go all the way over here. This was my first DIY plastic welding attempt, so I'll just walk around it. Actually, there is the first repair there. There was a split along that body line. There was one here from the indicator. The indicator was crushed into that hole, and there was a split in the panel, and of course there was this one and this one, which nearly joined, but I was pretty impressed with my own skill in this regard for a first attempt. So it's lovely and smooth at this point. Just a few humps and hollows, but it's very strong. It has also been welded on both sides. Now these two, this one here and here, they will be seen. There is a little closer panel that just kind of closes in this gap, but this is a seam part. So it's all rigid, it's all back together. It's on with the rest of the prep of the plastics in general. It has been an absolute nightmare trying to get hold of the best information regarding how to prep the plastics. There's so much conflicting information out there. There's so many people putting up videos kind of showing how to do a particular purpose, and you think that it's a process that applies to you, and then you find out, oh, there's some product that's not available to you, or any number of issues. But I do think we are on the right track now regarding paint. We have sourced various suppliers of paint who are still supplying products online, and I've put some threads up online and different Facebook groups just looking for general advice, and I have managed to find a cohesive range of advices between them all. So I think we're about to pull the trigger now on some painting products. And the other thing, I'm not sure if I've shown this before, but in here, where we're going to do it, we have in our lovely shed, which you'll see is lovely insulated roof, and you'll obviously see some nice LED lights. But up here we have, yes, it's the gable end of our painting shed, and our painting booth rather. So what you can see here is a little rolled section of sheathing, and it's just held up. It's very jankily held up by a clamp there and a clamp there. You release the clamps and it just winds all the way down. So this will be our first outing for that. I think we're probably going to put the compressor on the outside and just take fairly reasonable steps to take care of the environment regarding painting. We've a few bits of equipment as well to kind of source. You need to get an air regulator, water trap, a few other essentials, and go through the various bits and pieces for the painting. Ignore that, you didn't see that. Yeah, I think I have a plan here as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have extraction by way of, I'm going to get a plywood sheet. I'm going to set it so that maybe this sticks out about a foot and a half or so, and I'll have it so that this gap can be bridged, and a little triangular piece across the top here, and down low I will get probably something like a radiator fan from a car or something like that to provide some extraction. Obviously it'll be my first time doing 2K painting, 2-pack painting, and we obviously have to consider our health in that regard. It's a very serious business, and you're not being too pious to say you really should not breathe those fumes. You really should not. There's cyanide and all types of other nastiness in that. So yeah, it's something to be taken seriously. So there's a bit of research. It's absorbed a little bit of time as well this week regarding that. Oh, the last thing as well, I nearly forgot. Forks are stripped. Made a bloody error. I think I mentioned this last time. I got fork seals on their own, thinking, oh great. I looked into the stack of parts and I thought, oh, the dust caps are fine. I was seeing the one and only good dust cap out of the 4 that we have between the 2 sets of forks from the 2 bikes. There was only one good one. So not only had I to get dust covers, when I went to take out the seals today, look at the state of that, they're awful. Just bits of wire left. So unfortunately, the only way I could get the clips and the dust caps was to buy a full new set of fork seals. But I don't think it's going to hold us up. I'll probably put in the seals that I have, because it's possible to put in the clips and the dust caps later. I was going to go through an exhaustive process of figuring out how to get these polished and brushed. I actually have some materials on the way regarding the brushing of this, but as it happens, I just decided, look, time is against us. I'm personally heading back to work at the end of this week, thank God, and that will reduce the amount of time I have to spend on the project. So look, I just decided to take the executive decision to paint them, which is a factory finish. The early ones were apparently brushed, and the later ones were painted. So these are the later forks from the donor bike, and they will be painted. I have some nice enamel paint there that I trust, and it'll do a very good job and last for years. A very OEM factory looking finish. So yeah, the forks, these are going to be the forks obviously that are going to end up on the bike more permanently. The original forks are on the bike at the moment, but they will be coming off again because they're not in as good condition. So yeah, we're going to do a bit of work around those. There's going to be a bit of work involved with it in general, but it'll be one of those jobs, start, a middle and an end. And okay, I think that's pretty much all the news I have. Wish me luck. Starting to get worried now about all this painting. I've been talking a lot of smack about painting now for a long time, and if I don't get on and do it, people are going to start calling me names. So listen, thanks for checking in. I hope you're enjoying the project as much as I am, and I'm looking forward to having this bike on the road very soon. Thanks for all the support, thanks for all of the likes, and thanks for subscribing to those new subscribers. It really motivates you, to know that you're not the only nutter out there watching this kind of stuff. So listen, thanks for everything, and we'll see you very soon. Thank you very much.